You are listening to the Project Management Podcast. We bring project management topics to beginners and experts. Find us on the web at pmpodcast.blogspot.com or send your emails to pmpodcast@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome to the 9.5th show. I am Cornelius Fichtner. This is the Project Management Podcast for the 1st of November 2005, and all I want to do today is talk about the International Project Management Day. Now you may say, why an International Project Management Day? Well, let's change the question around. Let's ask, why project management? To start with, what good does project management really do in companies? Most of my listeners here are going to be project managers, so I probably am not going to have to tell you what good project management does for your companies. You're aware of it. I mean, you know that project management gives you repeatable processes, that it makes it measurable, that you will be able to learn, you will become as a company more mature as you move along the line because of project management. But what about management? What about other people out there? Well, there are in fact studies out there that indicate that project management does, in fact, add significant value. An example for this is the study which was conducted by the Center for Business Practices, which is the research branch for PM Solutions Incorporated. And this particular study states that out of more than 100 senior-level project management practitioners, which they asked, 94 of the respondents indicated that project management did in fact add value to their organization in areas such as financial measures, customer measure, and process measures. So people at the senior level up there realize, or begin to realize at least, that project management has value. But there are also still many skeptics out there who think that project management is just, something anyone can do. It's plain luck. It's smoke, mirrors, fancy charts, Gantt charts, and everything that we project managers do. And it's not really anything that lends value to the business. Well, we know that's not true, but many people out there still believe it. So, therefore, the dream from Frank P. Saladis grew. Frank is the president of the PMI New York chapter, and here's what he says. The dream, as conceived by the PMI 35 years ago, has not yet been achieved. Until project management becomes accepted as a strategic necessity and is perceived as the ultimate method to promote collaboration, improve productivity, and increase efficiency, the work is not done, and there is nothing more fun than doing that work. So that's what Frank said. It's actually a quote made by Bill Gates, which he modified for project management. That's what he said, and based on that, he created the International Project Management Day. He dreamed that up. Now, the goal of the International Project Management Day, and of course there is a website, it's called internationalpmday.org. It's one word, internationalpmday.org. And the goal behind it is the worldwide recognition of the many project managers and project teams in every industry, including non-profit organizations and healthcare, who contribute their time, energy, creativity, innovation, and countless hours to deliver products, services, facilities, and provide emergency and disaster recovery services in every city and community around the world. The International Project Management Day is intended to encourage project-based organizations worldwide, or organizations who utilize project management methodologies, to schedule some type of recognition event within their organizations or coordinate locally with others to truly demonstrate appreciation for the achievements of project managers and their teams. So there you go. That's the goal of it all. So in other words, do something, give some visibility to project management in your company, in your team, in your PMO, in your local professional organization. But there's more that they write, because there's also a purpose. What they want to do is also to increase the awareness of the value of project management within the large businesses, government, small business and social communities, and promote project management as a true profession and key business strategy. And to me, those two last are really, well, key. Promote them as a true profession and as a key business strategy. Project management today is not really recognized as a true profession, and it needs to be. Project management in some businesses is recognized as a key business strategy, in some it isn't, and it really should, because if you have a dream as a CEO of a company, how do you turn that dream into reality? Well, you call over a project manager and you say, "Here, this is my dream, do this, implement the following," and the project manager will go off and do it. So a highly important, well, profession that is needed. And of course, this includes, but the whole purpose includes all the industries out there: construction, information technology, entertainment, government, aeronautics, healthcare, ecology, you name it, social, disaster recovery, community improvement, quality of life projects, you name it. Now, what they did here at the internationalpmday.org is they organized various worldwide events. And one big thing is a webinar that they're going to hold 3 times on the 3rd of November. Oh, by the way, did I mention that until now? I don't think so. So, let me state this. The International Project Management Day is on the 3rd of November, okay? So, should have probably mentioned that at the very opening when it is. So 3rd of November, that's when the International Project Management Day is happening. And that is also the day when they're going to have these various events around the world. We're going to get to that. And they're also having a webinar, which they're going to have 3 times during that day to accommodate all of us around the globe so we can visit this webinar. It's going to be opened by a keynote speaker, and then there are going to be various presentations. The whole thing is approximately 90 minutes in duration, and believe it or not, you're even going to get PDUs for watching that. I will be putting a link up on my blog, and by the time you hear this, it's already up there. So go to my blog, pmpodcast.blogspot.com, and you'll be able to just simply click, and it'll take you right to this free webinar that you can watch and gain a couple of PDUs. I think it's about 1.5 or 2 PDUs for attending this particular webinar online. Now, the participants. There are quite a few big names here. Allpm.com is sponsoring this. IIL, Institute for Learning Incorporated, the International, Institute for Learning Incorporated is also a participant. It's a sponsoring organization, and the IIL is actually hosting the webinar. Then there is the PM Forum, where you can get lots and lots of good news about project management. And then there are various chapters, PMI Moscow, France Sud, Yugoslavia, Delaware, New York City, the PMI itself, the IPMA, the International Project Management Association, is also joining in, and a company I do not know, MTC Integration, is also a participant in this all. Now, what do they do? Well, here we go. The PMI Delaware Valley chapter is presenting a project management tools conference on that particular day. MTC Integration Corporation is going to be sponsoring a reception for local project managers who live and work in the Frederick, Maryland area. So you may want to get in touch with them if you want to get involved with that particular event. The PMI Moscow chapter, they will be doing the Project Management is Jazz reception, and I bet you they're going to have a live jazz band right there. And the PMI France Sud is going to do the Journée mondiale du management de projet, and it's going to be on the theme of La gestion des exigences, which is, if my French suffices, requirements management. So if you're in France, Sud, you may want to be joining in on that particular event. All right, what can you do? Well, if this is something that interests you, if you want to help promote the importance of project management, well, it's probably a little bit late, but there is still something that you can do. Let's start on the big picture here. Let's start international. Internationally, you can attend that very particular webinar that I just mentioned. Or you can personally join a project management organization. Easy. You can observe and learn about international projects that impact your community or quality of life. I mean, surf around the web, look what there is, what kind of project management events are available, what kind of project management is happening in your neighborhood, internationally. Locally, well, attend a project management association meeting. Find out who your local PMI chapter or IPMA is and go to their monthly event. You can, or you could have, scheduled a recognition event for project managers. That probably takes a little bit too long to set that up by the 3rd, but hey, who knows, if you're quick, we're project managers, right? We can turn these things around quickly. You can publish an article in a local newspaper or in a newsletter. So if you have a newsletter that's going out within the next 48 to 72 hours, go to the internationalpmday.org website, and copy the text from there. There's a lot of information that they have, and just place it in your newsletter and send it out. Organizationally, what can you do in your own organization to support this? Well, you can, for instance, recognize the PMO in your company for its contributions to the organization. Or you can simply communicate and celebrate project successes. Send out an internal memo and tell people, hey folks, in the last in the last year, for instance, we have executed and delivered the following projects successfully. Or you can just simply sponsor a project management coffee break. Bring something in. What can you do individually? You personally, well, thank the project managers on your team. Give them a phone call, send them an email, walk over and shake their hand and just say, thank you very much, doing a good job. Or take them out to lunch. Take a project manager out to lunch, or take several project managers out to lunch. And ask them how their project is going and show interest in their results. Now, most of you're probably going to be project managers listening to the Project Management Podcast, but nevertheless, you can support junior project managers and your fellow project managers to do exactly that. All right. What else can you do? Well, we've looked at a few of these in another context, but this is my list of 6 bullet points for you here. All right. The first thing you can do is you can just have a get-together with all the project managers. Schedule lunch on the 3rd of November and say, hey folks, it's the International Project Management Day. Let's just go have lunch, just the 5 of us. take your project sponsor out to lunch. Why not? I mean, they're involved in the project. They're basically paying your salary, right? Okay, take them out. Tell them about the International Project Management Day. Tell them about the importance of project management in your own company. If you still have the time, you can organize not just a coffee break, like I mentioned earlier, you can organize a breakfast organized by your project managers. Bring in some croissants or a local specialty, some coffee, some tea, and invite the department over and put on some flyers, put up a few bits and pieces of information in the meeting room where you're going to do this about project management. Simply send a quick email with a link to the International Project Management Day to all the project managers in your company. Something else that you can do. Or if you have a project management meeting that day, well, print out the homepage of the internationalpmday.org where the reason for this, for the day and the importance of project management is outlined, and hand it out to the attendees of that meeting that you're going to have, and say a few introductory words. And then I have two more, and they're not to be taken all too seriously. You can get yourself a t-shirt that says, "Kiss me, I'm a project manager." Or, of course, you could, like me, take the day off. And that's about it for today. This was my little spiel for you about the Project Management Day, which is, and I'm going to repeat this better one more time, on the 3rd of November 2005. Thank you very much for listening to this quick interlude here. In my next show, in show number 10, I will, as promised, be giving you some best practices for setting up project management training. As always, you can find us on the web at pmpodcast.blogspot.com, or you can send your emails to pmpodcast@gmail.com. And when you write, please tell me where in the world you are writing from. And finally, we have this. The definition of the term project manager as it can be found in the Uncyclopedia. They say, a project manager is a fictional character invented by the overlords to fool people into thinking that there are people better than themselves, thus keeping their salaries low. Project managers usually enjoy inflated salaries and do very little work in return. They spend most of their time in bed and turn up late at work frequently. Project managers often go on expensive team-building courses where they consume vast quantities of alcohol and engage in orgies. With that, always make your customers aware of what impact their changes have on a project. This is a great way to avoid scope creep. Until next time.